edition of the Sherma Show. And with us in the house is no other person than Edmond Ewang. One of the guys changing the narratives around hairdressing in Cameroon today. Welcome to the Sherma Show, Edmond.
Hi, Sheila.
It's really a pleasure having you.
The pleasure is mine.
Thank you. So, introduce me to Edmond before his university days.
Yeah, Edmond was born in the year 1985 by a beautiful couple, Mr. and Mrs. Peter Ewang. I want to use all of my dad's three names because he deserves it. He's of late. My mom is presently in Canada, but she's the one that put me through of this, what I'm going through now. So the credit goes to her. I schooled in Akwaya, I think for 3 years. My primary school, I started in Akwaya. I had 3 years there. My dad was a state registered nurse. So because of his post, we had to be transferred from one town to another. So we moved from Akwaya to Boya, where I resumed class 3 to class 7. I moved to Bafia, where I had my first school because I didn't make it in Boya. So I went to Bafia and I succeeded in having my first school leaving certificate. Moved back to Boya and started with intercomprehensive. So I did 7 years in intercomprehensive where I acquired my ordinary level in commercial studies and my advanced level in commercial studies. So I think that is Edmond before the university.
Wow. So but when you move from one place to another, right, how does that impact you? Maybe your studies, is it positive or negative?
Actually, during those days we were controlled by our parents, so we could not really do what we like. But moving you from one school to another was not really a good thing. And that's what I really avoid for my kids. I would not like them to be moving from one school to another because the environment where you study is good, you get familiar with it. So going from one, but I didn't really suffer that because in intercomprehensive, I think I started right from Form 1 till I had my advanced level in the same school. So the primary school foundation was not easy, that was a little bit shaky.
I get that. So now you became a hairdresser. You started hairdressing back in the university, right? So
No, I started hairdressing when I was still a kid.
seriously?
Going with my mom. She was a hairdresser. So I started, I think the first hair I made cash out of was when I was in Form 1.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And that was what motivated me. I remember there's a story I usually tell people that there was a lady who came one day when my mom was a little bit sick. She went to the village, she was not around, so she was doing these wigs, or the wigs that they put on. Most people come and request when they have a corpse in the mortuary that they want to put it on or somebody. So when I knew that, they came and asked if my mom had something like that at home. I said, no, she don't. I said she had one in the room, but my dad is not at home. So my dad, when he returns back at 5 o'clock, they should come and check so I can show them the one that is available. So I had my feeding money that my dad gave us, 2,500. I rushed to the market. I got a packet of mesh. I got, I think, thread and other stuff that they used to. I came home and I started imitating what my mom did.
Okay.
I came out with an excellent wig, and when they came, I removed it. I was just praying that they should not reject this wig because I know what we're going to eat. So I got there and I showed them the wig. They were like, this is good. And what motivated me was because it was to be used on someone who is dead. So they will not even see the result that comes out of it. So it was really a good experience. Then later on, it motivated me because I had a profit for about, I think I spent about 1,500, but I sold it for about 4,000, which was enough. So we had to eat enough sweets, chingom and stuff to, because if my dad needs the money, he will ask where it came from. And he didn't want to see me in the salon, so he would be very angry with me.
Yeah. But being introduced to money at a very early age, so how has that played? Because my mom, on the other hand, kind of was that kind of person. Like, she was into business, but she's like, oh, Shelly, you cannot do business at a very young age. If you go back to university, I actually did it, but like, how did it play in you?
Actually, I was someone that naturally I'm a little bit composed. So it didn't really play a negative part in my life because The only thing I would do with the money is to go to school, eat what I want to eat. I've never lose weight. When I was chubby right from small. So I eat my gâteau, eat my fish pie with the money, and I come back, I can share with friends in school, and I'm so happy. Then I give my brothers. So I just realized using the money maybe to share. At times I give. My mom would take everything I work.
Oh.
Yeah, she doesn't give me. She just motivates me. Because I think that was a guide. Then it's when I got to upper seat before my mom told me, very soon you get to university, you have to start managing your own funds. I got to the university, keeping my own money. She created an account for me. Whatever I work, she keeps it there. And when it got to about 1.5 million, she told me to go and get a piece of land.
Oh.
So I got my first land when I was in the university.
Wow, you must be very grateful to your mom.
She's an excellent mom.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So, but how do people react to you being a male hairdresser?
The society now, we have so many challenges. Being a male hairdresser, they will always call you names and stuff. But you have a focus. You shouldn't look at those things. You have a focus, you know where you're heading to. You don't need to care about what people say about you. You just move on.
What kind of names?
They could call you, even it's a gay or whatever, but it's not my business. I don't care that. I have a beautiful family. I don't care if someone says you're that and your mind says you're not that, and it's okay. Just move on.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, but now the names might just be one part.
Yeah.
But to me, I remember back in the days, my first time to be introduced to a male hair stylist was back then in university in Boya, where there was this guy called Michael. I think about that before the interview. Yeah, there was this guy called Michael. But what I knew right then is that most of the people that used to go to Michael were like the bobos, you know. The bobos, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Those guys who came from wealthy homes, or maybe ladies who had other sources of income, right?
Yeah.
But some of us, we only went there maybe occasionally. So it kind of seemed like it was instead advantageous to him at that time.
Yeah.
So, but what are some of the advantages that you have as a male hairdresser?
First of all, I think being a male hairdresser is not the issue. The issue is to deliver. Yeah, you have to deliver. If you are a male hairdresser and you don't do somebody's hair well, the person will not come back. The issue is not about you plating that person for that day. You might have a beautiful shop, but you don't deliver. The person will go and will never return. So we have ladies who do excellent jobs than men. We have men who do excellent jobs than women. So if you are good in a certain domain, you just specialize and you do it well. Then it's not about you looking at the money. Look at the satisfaction first of all. Then from there you will see how it can drive you through.
And but given the competition, it's kind of like everybody's your competitor. I think even my mother back home will be your competitor because like every lady has like some plating skills or something like that. So how do you do to survive this? First
of all, competition is a good thing because it really gives you more ideas on how to improve on what you have been doing. If there's no competition, then you'll be just stagnant, let me say. So I prefer an environment where there's competition because it pushes me to develop new skills. And maybe during that period, I might look at someone's own work and I develop something better. So competition is a good thing. It's just that you meet those people who don't understand. They take competition to be enmity, which is a bad thing because there are some people who might even lose their lives. You might say, I won't take off this person from this generation because I want to take all the money for myself. This thing that we are doing is not good. I think competition instead we should be united so that we'll come out with good ideas. People might come to me, they go and they say, I don't want to train people, I cannot train someone when I don't need competitor. If I don't need a competitor, I will not train. But I train people. I have so many trainees who have passed through me. The only thing is that there's a price for that. You don't just come and you want to get something good and you don't pay for it. So that is still part of the team who want to compete with me. So which is a good thing.
So now how do you expand in such a business? Because many customers, right, when they come to the salon, they always want like the owner to work in their hair or something like that. So how do you expand in such a field?
That is one of the main issues I'm going through because if I had people who had the same idea with me that they can stand the time to say, okay, we want to work with you like for this amount of time, this length of time, I'm ready to work. But the issue is with Africa, we know our selfish desires. We just come, we acquire the knowledge, and we leave. So what we do is we put a price for that. So if the person leave, you don't care. So if I'm to create branches all over that there are no workers there, I'll end up putting in money that is not worth it. So what I do is I just create a situation where I can satisfy my clients anywhere in the country, but based on appointments. And they just team up like a group. Like I go to Yaoundé, do people's hair like 20, 30. I come back to Douala, I can do some people's hair. Based on how the thing flows, I just work on that. But when it comes to expansion on this domain, in this particular domain, I don't think I really do that because I don't have a team that understands the vision.
So then now, how do you actually learn them to understand the vision? Because if not so, it means you just be like the one-man business. Besides that, right, I also noticed that in your field, the wage that you guys pay those who work for you is quite low, and to an extent maybe not sustainable. Don't you think something can be done about that? Because if I'm working for somebody for maybe 2 years or 1 year or 3 years or so, and the person keeps paying me maybe below 50,000, then I'm forced to also go and do my own thing.
Yeah, the issue with dreadlocks is a prestigious hairdo that people who come to plait, there are times that they pay about, I even have clients who pay like 100,000. I have clients who pay like 50,000, 35,000, 20,000. So if you come and train without our skill and you are excellent in doing what you are doing, you will not even want to take a salary from somebody. That is the main problem. So if I have a client, an apprentice who has really acquired the skill and can meet a client who is willing to pay that amount of money, the person will not look at the salary you are about to give. If you propose 200,000 to that person, the person will look at the number of hair he or she is doing and how much she could make if she was an individual owner of the business. That is the issue. So it's just that selfishness that I'm talking about. Yes, that's just the issue.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So after the break, more with Edmond Ewang. If you're just joining us today on the Sherma Show, we are here with Edmond Ewang. So Edmond, you're an expert when it comes to dreads, right? But there's this conception that dreads sometimes damage the hair. Is that true?
No, I think what damages the hair is the person that plaits you, not the dreadlocks. Because I have so many clients whom when I stay for about a year without seeing them, they come with damaged hair. They are coming not because they want to do the hair, the dreadlocks. They are coming because they want to bring back their hair. They already noted that from me, that when I braid you, it doesn't break your hair. When I say, but there are situations too that I discover that some clients that I braided, they complain that my hair got broken or stuff. I always try to verify what could be the cause of that. So I discovered that I could plait you and you go home. The person styling your hair pulls the hair and it cuts off. So I always sensitize my customers on how to manage the hair. Then thereby I came to a conclusion that the best way for me is to put styling of the hair free of charge. So I did that and I made sure they come once in a while to come and do their styling for free. If they meet me plaiting you, I always take permission. Please, can I take some 5 minutes to style this lady's hair? And if you permit, I do that. If you don't, I just beg the customer to come later. But it's open, anybody can come at any time. Then the other thing that breaks the hair, there are some certain hair do like rasta, then the foundation that they always put in front of wigs, this gel, it breaks the hair a lot. Then I also discovered that when you want to braid for other hairdressers, I always tell my clients that if they want to braid you, the person should be careful the foundation that carries the mesh. You don't just put mesh on someone's hair without looking at the foundation. It's like a building. To put a story building of about 5 floors, you need to make a solid foundation. So that hair is the foundation. Putting mesh on it should be smaller. So the hair should carry more. The hair should be more than the mesh. So if you do that, you realize that it can sustain. But if you don't do it that way, you start picking like what they're doing in those days, like they make rasta, they pick it very small, pick count your hair, and that is what has caused so many people with funny frontals, especially the francophones. They are fond of doing such hairdo. So I think if they reduce it, they go. I also encourage women to go natural. They should keep natural hair, avoid those chemicals that they always put on the hair because those are one of the main causes of hair damages. So if they go the natural way and they also make sure that when they go to a salon and they meet a hairstylist who breaks your hair, you don't go back there. You don't go back there. Look for a steady person who can do your hair. You better show the person that this is a style that I want to do. Can you do it? If not, if you admire a friend's hair, just be patient to see the results. If she takes off the hair and you see that the hair damaged, you should not do it. But if you think that the hair is okay, go and meet the lady and ask her, where did you do your hair? And you go to the same place. I think that's the best option. But most people don't do it that way. Then I have a hair treatment that I always make for my clients. Yes, it's a mixture of different chemicals I cannot disclose here. But it's really good. It's really good. And I sell it strictly to people I plait. Because if I don't plait you, I don't know who will plait you, you might not notice the effect of the treatment. So I make sure that I plait you because I have confidence that my hand doesn't break the hair. Then from the time you take off the hair, you have to tell me that this is what happened. I enjoyed the treatment and it's okay.
But are there some natural produce that you can disclose that can help ladies with your hair?
Actually, some of my things I use for my treatments were natural stuffs. Yes, but I know of clients who can, because in my shop I don't have where they treat hair like using the pear stuffs, but on YouTube you see so many of those things. I also explore YouTube to learn one or two things from others. I see people using pear. But my mom taught me one hair treatment when I was still small. She uses the yolk of egg, then put groundnut oil, mix, put on the person's hair, cover with a wrapper and steam in a dryer, then rinse it off with conditioner. That is what I've known ever since.
Keeps it for how long? Like when you put it on the hair?
You keep it like, when you put on the hair, you can steam it like for 30 minutes.
Okay.
And that is all. You wash it off with hot water or warm water. It makes the hair somehow slicky, it looks very fresh. That it doesn't break too much. But I don't know others. Everybody has his own idea when it comes to hair treatment. But those with natural hair, I mostly see them using stuff like pear, that's avocado, then other stuff like groundnut oil, they mix with aloe vera and stuff. I think all those things are very, very helpful.
You mentioned the fact that you encourage people to keep their natural hair, right?
Yeah, of course I do.
So there's always this constant debate around ladies putting on wigs, or ladies putting on Brazilian hair, kind of like implying that maybe they're trying so hard to be like people, this guys from this cultures, or the ladies from these cultures that have this kind of hair. Right. Or maybe they don't appreciate their natural hair that much. What's your take on this?
Before, African ladies were not proud of their hair. But most of the people who have traveled have seen that the white people instead admire their own hair more than our own hair more than theirs. So if you go out there and you discover that, you are motivated to appreciate what God has created you with. So all this relaxing of hair, putting on wigs, I don't think I am really a fan of them, looking at admiring women who have them. My wife has a wig. Yes, but I admire her more when she has natural stuff like rasta or dreadlocks, or she has her natural locks. Because of the trip that she had natural locks, but I don't know, she was not able to carry it for a long period, so she had to cut it off. But I admire her more with her natural hair. Ever since I got married to her, she has not permed her hair. Yeah, so she's keeping natural hair. It's either she shaves the hair, or she does dreadlocks or puts on her wig. But the wig is just for her to plait her normal cornrow, then add the wig on it. maybe by then we must not have had time to go to the salon or stuff. Yeah,
So you're not
but
totally against.
I'm not a fan of that.
You're not a fan, but
No,
you're
I'm
not
not a fan.
totally against.
I'm not totally against too. Yeah,
Because it's sometimes quick to.
yeah. At times, women too need to change. They love change, so I will not discourage them not to put their wigs on, but they should just be careful, not using gum in front of their hair, and looking at the right person doing your hair. That's just the advice.
So let's look at some of the health-related kind of like issues surrounding your profession, right? So like the chemicals that you sometimes use, this can be dangerous to your health, right? So how do you deal with this?
My advice always goes to my customers when I'm braiding them. I have 3 hours at least to spend on their hair. So during that period, we talk a lot. I always tell them, even those who have relaxed their hair, I always tell them that these chemicals are not good for you. I quote examples where I meet clients who are doctors and stuff. They'll tell me, we had a seminar in the US, they were talking about these chemicals that they can cause blood cancer, they penetrate. I'm not a science person, but I think the normal lay person will understand that you putting something on your hair, they say your hair breathes. So those chemicals are not really good for the hair. I remember the same doctor told me about entering the dryer, that it can cause brain tumor. So it's not really good. I confirmed that when my mom was, some years back, she had severe frontal headache. And that was one of the things that she stopped. And this is almost 20 years we have not had that. We will almost lose that because of that. So dryer is not a good thing. And people who enter the dryer, they are mostly people who have relaxed their hair. Because those who have natural hair will instead wet the hair for a plate. So that is it. That's the difference. So going natural saves you from the dryer completely. Except you want to perm your hair, then you start trying to do your coils and stuff. Or even the babyliss itself, if you notice, most women are going bad because the hot iron touches your skin, which is not really good. Most of my customers who do that babyliss stuff have, if you ask them the hair texture or the quantity of their hair from the 5 years back, you will notice that they will tell you that we had much hair before. It's just like a past tense. Yes, but presently the hair has really damaged. Then I tend to advise them that it's because of this, it's because of that. Just stay off this. But at times I feel bad saying that on air because it's like I want to cut off some people not to do babyliss and other stuff because I want them to come and do dreads. That is not the issue.
It's the truth. That's the truth. There's really nothing you can do about it, right? Yeah. So, but one of the health issues with your profession also is the long standing, and you constantly miss breaks. Maybe you don't have like consistent breaks, right? Or you miss lunch or something like that, right? So how do you handle this in the long term? Looking at somebody who wants to have a future in this profession.
Yes, I think the credit goes to my wife. She has been supportive. There are times that she cooks and sends to the shop. We eat. I discovered with the number of kids too that I have, 4 kids is somehow heavy on her. So there are times we go to the restaurant by the side. We have beautiful restaurants that they cook good food. We take our break and we eat on time. Then I also developed the culture of eating very fast because I have to meet up with my clients. That is what has sticked in me now. Because I remember the day I was getting married, my wife told me that, please eat small. So that is me. If you see me on the table, I don't eat much, but I eat very fast. The little I eat, I have to be very fast so that I go and meet up with my clients.
So how sustainable is this? If you have
As long as the clients are there, I have to do that. But I discovered that with the practice, even if the clients are not there, I still try to eat very fast. I don't know if there's any negative health issues on that, but
mostly like the standing.
Okay, the standing aspect, I don't really stand that much.
Okay.
I have a comfortable chair for my clients, then I have a higher one for me. So I just stand once in a while to make the blood to flow Normally, not that. There are some positions that I plait while sitting. There are others that I plait while standing. And I cannot avoid that. I have to do it at the right time. So it doesn't really affect me.
After the break, more with Edmond Ewang. If you're just joining us today on the Sherma Show, we're in the house with Edmond Ewang, a guy who is changing the narratives around hairdressing. So, Edmond, tell me a little bit about the types of dreads that you do. Because you showed me, like, you actually surprised us this morning when we were about doing your makeup and you just removed what you had on you. Yeah. So, what inspired such drastic styles?
Yeah, the thing is, when it comes to you having a talent, God inspires you in so many ways. There are times that I might even sleep and I dream a hairdo and just come out and try to implement it. I remember some months back, I always tell people I cannot do cornrow because I claim that my fingers are too fat. Oh. They are too healthy for me to pick it. I met a lady in Douala. She told me, Edmond, you must do my bakala. Whoa. You must do my bakala. I said, okay, let me try. I used about 3 hours to do that lady's hair. Whoa. But it was excellent. I finished it. She was like, losing this part is not correct. I lost it and I do it. Yeah. I finished and everybody loved the hair. Wow. So later on she said, okay, this time I will not do cornrow with you. I'm going to do it in a salon. Then you just do the dreadlocks part. Yeah. She went to a salon and she noticed that they did a beautiful cornrow, but it could not last even for a week. Whoa. She said, but Edmond, that your fat finger made my hair to last even for a month without getting bad. So I think that I prefer you manage to do my cornrow. Yeah. And subsequently I improved on it. I was using my elder sister to implement the same hairdo that I did. So I am some that kind of person that I like to have challenges. So I discover new skills from that. I have the kinky twist. Yeah. That is initially what I learned from my mom. I have the maintenance of dreadlocks, like the Bob Marley 1 hour. Don't be surprised, this is a cap. Yes, this is a cap. I think this is the second design for men. I don't like to leave men aside. I had one that I was in another show that I portrayed in a Bob Marley cap. Yeah. So this one I can put it on at any time and I get people confused. Honestly, you really got us confused. This is one of my products. Then I also have different, I think the photos will show better. Yeah. Because at times I even do them without even knowing I have created. Wow. I tend to forget some of them. No, so I think there are so many designs that everybody might have something. Your products are amazing, I must tell you, honestly. I really just enjoy like watching, looking at the various styles that you're producing, yeah. And I think people are very happy with your services too. Yeah, of course, they are very happy. They are very happy. Let me just relax my head with it. Interesting. Okay. They are happy with my services. I noticed one thing with my clients. If they are not satisfied, they call me on phone. That is a big blessing. Wow. They call me on phone. Edmond, this my hair did not last. I said, please, can you come back and check what went wrong? And that process helps me to learn more. Yes, I love clients who will call you and say, Edmond, my hair was not good. Yeah. Rather than you going to criticize Edmond that this guy that you probably claiming all Edmond. I remember there was a day that I went to Limbe to wait one lady. I started waiting her about 10 p.m. I felt sleepy. I begged her for like 1 hour rest. I slept that 1 hour, I got up, I continued plaiting it. I was not having the energy because I had exhausted it the whole day. I discovered I did rough work. So those are the challenges that I have too. I did rough work, and you cannot imagine you plaiting and getting towards the middle and leave almost half of the hair without plaiting. Then you continue towards the finishing. Then I just had her, I had to take that challenge. I took stubbornness to go on the chair to sleep. I heard her grumbling in my dream. Is that the Edmond that you talk about? Is it the Edmond that I was talking about? I don't know, I'm only seeing what she has done. I wish I could cut my hair and put down, because she was a hairdresser in the States. I wish I could put my head down and plait myself. You guys, in fact, I'm so annoyed. Behold, in the morning when I got up, I saw that lady's hair. I was like, she had all the right. But that was the day I discovered another design.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because of that obstacle that I had that night, I saw that lady's hair. The neck, I could not lose in the entire, because her flight was the next day in the afternoon, so we didn't have time for the correction. I just started adjusting the hair the next day very fast, and I developed another strategy for the finishing, which is selling me up to today.
Wow, you see? But so that's because you're creative.
Yes. So I used a comb and came out with something that most salon people are imitating today.
Oh.
And I'm happy to that is my design. So I'm so happy to see that. But that was the day I developed that style.
Wow.
So she saw the hair after that and was like, wow, this is what I wanted. Thank you very much. And she added her money.
Are you serious?
Yes, she went very happy. Then she told me that whenever I call you that I'm coming to Cameroon, I will tell her, is that lady that troubled you? So I think she was very satisfied at the end. So that is a credit for me, that most of my clients are always satisfied.
Wow.
The ones who are not satisfied, they come and meet me, and I will either discover maybe the mesh was not good, because every day we depend on Nigeria for mesh. So if they bring low quality we are forced to use, we don't have any choice. Then a specialist like me, I can easily look at this one and say, no, this one is manageable. I prefer this to this and stuff.
Wow. But that also, I think maybe you should also give yourself some credit, because people are able to give you feedback if only you're open to feedback. You see, so maybe it's because you're open to feedback, too, which is a plus.
I make sure that when they come for that kind of situation, if it wants me even taking off the entire hair, I will do that for free. That's what I always do.
That's customer service. Yeah. Beautiful. So Edmond, we can continue talking, because I'm really enjoying this discussion, right? Because I'm learning a lot. I also have like very dark hair, so the discussion.
I think I'll use like a sample.
That would be nice, honestly. So Edmond, maybe we can relax a little with some questions. So maybe just pick 3, and if you're okay.
That if I was to travel to the moon with someone, who would that be? Who would it be? My wife.
I know.
She's the most precious thing I have.
Oh, that's beautiful.
She's always beside me. She's the mother of my 4 beautiful kids.
Oh.
That I'm always amazed seeing them. So she deserves that credit.
That's nice. That's nice.
Okay, a beautiful and clean wife with no brain, or a shabby and dirty wife with brain. Make a pick. A beautiful and clean wife with no brain, or a shabby and dirty wife with brain. I prefer a shabby and dirty wife with brain because you can make her clean. Yes. Okay. You can make her clean. You can make her to be what you want. With the brain that she has, she will easily understand. But a beautiful and clean wife with no brain will just be like...
So why don't you think you can also educate her?
With no brain, we should take it. That's the issue.
Okay. Nice one.
Then the last question. Can we eat anything past its expiring date? Why or why not? We're in Africa. Have you eaten?
Edmond, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm really very grateful that you're here today with us. So, but how can people get to you?
My contact is 677932374. We're located at Moki's Garage, Great Sopobuya, just after the bridge, Bakwetown Bridge, the first shop on your right.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was really a pleasure having you here
Pleasure is
today.
mine. Thank you very much.
So on the Sharma show today, we were honored to be in the presence of Edmond Ewang. He's one of the persons changing the narratives around hairdressing today in Cameroon. Thank you for always being with us. Thank you for always watching our show. And we're here because you're there. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos. Thank you.